WAVU AM 630, W298BG FM 107.5 Albertville. You've found the power. Power 107.5 FM. It's time for the Albertville Aggie Coach Bert Browne Show. Every Wednesday night, you can tune into Power 107.5 with your host, Aggie play-by-play announcer, Barry Galloway, live at Legends in the Crossroad Mall in Albertville. For the next hour, Aggie head coach Bert Browne will be joined by other Aggie coaches and Albertville players, and we'll talk Aggie football. Now let's go live to Legends in Albertville, here on Power 107.5 FM.
Galloway, John, Keith Ball here with you. Coach Bert Browne will be joining us in just a moment. I'll be totally honest, this may be one of the hardest shows that we've ever done on Power 107.5. I've been doing sports for many years. A few years ago, we had an Aggie player who was killed during the summertime and they lost him during the summertime. And this is the first time since I've been doing football that an Aggie player lost his life when the season was going on. And I'm sure everybody knows, but now if you don't, J.J. Staten was killed in a car accident this past Monday morning. So here we are tonight. We reached out to Coach Browne about doing the show tonight. He said, absolutely. I think we need this. I think we need this for the players, for the community. I tell you guys, y'all's talk, this may be one of the toughest shows we've ever done.
Well, it's definitely difficult, Barry, and that situation where you got a young man that's 16 years old that meets the end of this life tragically. But you know, and if what I believe is it wasn't that it wasn't planned. Right. It was a part of God's plan, and that's hard to understand sometimes, and it's hard to cope with that sometimes. But that's something that I firmly believe. Again, I know Coach is going to talk about JJ a little bit later, but from what I understand, he came in the year after I stopped coaching, so he was that seventh grade group after I stopped coaching. But everybody said, and I talked to him several times, but as far as having that relationship where I coached him, I did not. But everybody said he was just a joy to be around, always had a big smile, always, was cracking jokes and that sort of thing. And I know John coached him when he was younger, yep. So but I'll throw it over to John. Go ahead, John.
Now, he was a great kid. I mean, just absolutely wonderful, great kid. Everything that you've heard about him, everything that you've heard about the people in the community talking about him, and even Coach on, I think, Channel 48 and Channel 31 when he called him a big teddy bear. So what I loved about J.J. was, now I got him when he was younger, right? He's a bigger teddy bear now than what he was when I had the opportunity to coach him when he was smaller. And what I always loved is he had an infectious smile. He always did everything that you asked him to do as a player. There were times that I did have to get up in his booty a little bit and kind of what my dad would call a motivational speech.
Motivating a little bit.
And but the good thing was is JJ took it as that you were motivating him, that you were coaching him. He even told me when he was little that one of his dreams was to play college ball, and I think that's where he and I actually had a chance to kind of hit it off because he recognized that I got to play at that level. And so it was just kind of fun as an older dude seeing a younger guy, and not only that, but and Coach Browne will understand what I'm talking about. I don't think it matters what age you are. If you're C-team Pee Wee football all the way up to the NFL, linemen have a special fraternity with one another. We don't get our names in the newspaper. About the only time we ever hear our name on the radio is when they call us for holding or something like that. But it's a special bond, and I think JJ and I had that special bond. Matter of fact, Coach Browne will tell you the last time that I made it out to a practice, remember JJ came up behind you and me and him hugged over there beside you, and I remember looking at you saying, when I told I said, I coached him when he was little, this joker grown up now. Yeah. He was man-sized, but it was absolutely a pleasure to coach and pleasure to know him, and also a pleasure just because they graduate and they move on from you, don't mean you still don't love them and you still track them, and just having the opportunity to be able to talk to JJ that day. I'm sure Coach Browne would have probably wanted him out there getting some more reps in, but we took a little extra long time on the sidelines to catch up. So, but it was great that's. I hate to say it this way, but my final memory of being able to talk to him on the sidelines over there was a great time.
Let's talk to Aggie head coach, Bert Browne. Coach, we reached out to you early this week. Wasn't sure your thoughts on doing the show tonight. We wanted to give you the option if you thought it was the right thing to do. And I looked at the crowd coming in. By the way, we're at Legends here in Albertville. That's where all the crowd noise is. Legends have been going above and beyond, feeding the JV players and the varsity players here tonight. They're coming in. Crowd continues to come in. And, Coach, when we reached out to you, what were your thoughts on doing the show tonight?
Well, I wanted everything to be as normal as possible. When this happened Monday morning, I've got a real good friend, Mike Boland in Kentucky, that this has happened to him twice in the last 2 years. And I immediately, before I went, the kids were in a defensive meeting and we're getting ready to go out and practice. So before I even talked to the kids, I called him and just asked his advice because, he's done this twice and it's terrible. And so, he just said this, there's no easy way to do it, Bert. He said, just tell the kids. He said, that's all you can do. And then he said, so I talked to him a little bit more, went in and told the kids. We had a lot of youth pastors came around and talked and stuff. And so, it was a tough time. That's the toughest thing I've ever done. And then going and seeing his mama a couple hours later, that was awful tough for me because I am not wired to do that stuff as far as, hospitals, funerals, things like that. That's just something I'm not wired to really do. But I knew that I needed to do that as the leader of the football program, and I went and saw her and talked to her, and then we saw her again the other night at the little thing at Life Point, I believe.
Yes, sir.
But she is. It's a tough time for her. Like I told everybody that I've talked to on the media, you all pray for her and give her strength, and that God give her strength. And she is struggling as anybody would. And but after we did that, the kids were around for about an hour and a half, and then kind of said, okay, it's guys to go. You need to call your parents. I need to know. The coaches need to know if that's the case, that you can leave without them coming to from the Grove or whatever. So I immediately called. I know Coach Sullivan from Boaz came over, but before that, I called Mike back and I said, what do you do? And, you practice. He said, yes, practice tomorrow. Get back as normal as you can be for the kids' sake. They need that. So that's what we did. And I know Coach Maxey's had 3 players that tragically died as he was coaching. He came over and saw me right after he heard that Coach Sullivan at Boaz came over, and he's had a player that happened. And so we all sit in there as a bunch of grown men and talked about how to handle the situation and what to do. And just get back to normal as soon as we can. Of course, we love JJ and man, it's tough, but we'll do a little something. Friday night, I think, is going to be pretty neat for him, and to pay tribute to him. I know the kids have got shirts made up and things like that.
Mostly as a coaching staff, and you talked to us the last 2 weeks about how you preach to the kids that how life is so much more than the wins and losses. Yes, you want to win every game, but there's so much more about life, and all of a sudden something like this happens. How does that change the coaching? And now that you actually had to experience what you've been preaching to them, and now it's hit you. So how does that's going to be very emotional for you and the other coaches.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, like I say, for this never to happen was very, very tough for our coaches. I mean, and it's not about us, but we're football coaches. We coach this young man, so it hits us bad. And when you get attached to somebody, and JJ was, one of my favorite kids, and I mean, he was just me and him used to tease each other about our hairdos, stuff like that. And, just I've known him since March, but I tell people it's like I've known him for 10 years. You know, he's just one of those kids that he's easy to get to know, and you like being around him, and the kids like being around. Our whole school like being around his big rear end, and he just was just one of those kids that people are drawn to, you know. And I mean, I've said this every TV station that's come over here and interviewed me. I've said, you know, you hear about teenagers getting killed and things like that, and then they get on and talk about what a great kid they were. And, you know, half the time I don't believe it, you know, but they're going to say something good about kids. But this one, for real, was a super kid, and just, I mean, you can take that to the bank. He was just a great kid, and man, what a loss, and we're gonna miss the fire out of him. But it's a tough situation.
Go back a few days, Friday night, we were talking about it. I remember calling JJ's name quite often in the Boaz game. And I know you've seen game film, but I thought he was having one of his better games in quite a while.
He did, and he the thing about JJ, he had such a big upside because, you know, he's very strong. We're going to get stronger, and he was getting better. And me and him had a lot of talks about wanting to play college football and what that takes. And, you know, I shared some stuff with him about the college coach is looking for, because I was one, and I did it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I talked to him about it. I was real with him, and I said, you know, you got to go from where you're at right now and advance big time. And you got to get in shape. You got to be a two-way guy for us. You got to do things. And he took that challenge, and he was really, man, I mean, he was coming into his own, I think, there with that stuff.
Coach, talk a little bit about, you know, your first year in this job. You're kind of your first year, like you said, in March, being in this community. Talk a little bit about the community support around this terrible tragedy, and how the community's kind of rallied around these players and JJ's family and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even before this, I mean, this community supports the fire out of us in football. I mean, you saw that at the game Friday night, and I hope everybody comes out this Friday night to support these kids, because this is you know, I've said this, it's tough to lose in any sport. But now this one, I mean, losing in football is tough because you're getting the fire knocked out of you. It ain't basketball or baseball, and I played them and loved them. But it's just it's a tough man's game now, and you're getting your head cracked. So, but our community has really poured into these kids, and with our football program, I know Devin Smith is in our football boosters, and she does a great job. And she's still at restaurants calling, want to feed the kids and do those things. This morning, the band fed us. You know, that was great. They came over, and the wind ensemble, if I'm saying that correct, came over and fed our guys, juice and stuff like that. It was pretty cool, and I really appreciate Taylor for doing that, the band for doing that. That's big time.
Coach, I guess one question I have is, and you and I had the opportunity to kind of sit down last night and talk. Wyatt, missing the dog though. I love the dog.
Yeah.
But with that being said, you know, I told you I kind of look at it from a military perspective, right? Because of having that background with me, and you being that officer, what is the biggest challenge now in terms of trying to move the rest of the group forward right now?
Well, I think that just letting these guys understand that, you know, in life, I say this all the time, you can't quit, you can't give up, you got to keep going, you got to keep fighting. And, you know, it's challenging, but like I told these kids, you know, you talk about some kids with some guts. They're on the football team at Albertville now.
Yep.
To play football, and you've won one game the last 2 years each, and you know, we haven't won a game yet this year, and to keep fighting and playing like these kids are playing, toughest kids in our school. I mean, mentally, physically, I mean, I'm going to war with anybody on that. I mean, people can say all they want, but, you're sitting in the stands watching. You're not down there on the field. You're not coming out like these guys, and they play because they love the game. And a lot of people, I can't say much more than that.
From the cheap seats anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean, these guys, and then you want to say something to these kids in school, you just need to shut your mouth because you don't have the guts. You don't need to say anything to these guys derogatory because they got the guts to do it, and so, right now this is a life lesson for these young men and to learn that, guys, you got to continue on with life. It's tough. We've lost a beloved teammate and friend and player, and it is tough, and it's been tough for me. Me and my wife have talked about that, and I wake up in the middle of the night, I just think about JJ's mama, and I say a little prayer for her, and I woke up about 5 times last night. She was on my mind, and I just said a little prayer for her that God give her comfort and that kind of deal, and so, and I know, it's what she's feeling is nothing like, everybody else is. It's a tough time for her,
Coach Brown, we appreciate you joining us. We got another 45 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. We've got some other Aggie coaches and some players we'll talk to coming up next. We're going to be here till 7. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.
Touchdown, fans! Get ready to score big this football season with FTC's high-speed fiber internet. Say goodbye to lag and stay in the game with reliable and unbeatable internet speeds that you need. Level up your game with upload and download speeds up to 1 gig. For more information, visit farmerstell.com or give us a call at 256-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
Albertville Discount Pharmacy has been providing prescription and healthcare needs to the Sand Mountain area for over 30 years. With 3 pharmacists, Amy Honey, Brett Hogan, and Eddie Campbell, you will feel the confidence their staff provides. They want to be your pharmacy. Phone 256-878-1515 or come by Albertville Discount Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy at 422 North Broad Street in Albertville.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones with Randy Jones & Associates, your independent insurance agency. We've been proudly serving our community now for over 44 years. We know finding the right protection for you, your family, your business, and your future is important. RGAA is here to help you find with affordable, customized coverage that best fits your needs. Stop by Randy Jones & Associates office or give us a call for a free, no-obligation quote.
Legends in Albertville and Guntersville is your place for family fun. Come have dinner with us in Albertville for Tuesday night bingo, 85-cent wings on Wednesday, karaoke Thursday, and live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Guntersville Legends has bingo on Wednesdays, live music on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and karaoke on Friday. Something for everyone at Legends with 2 locations, Highway 431 in Albertville and Legends on the Lake at Valmonte in Guntersville.
This week at Foodland Plus in Albertville, Angus beef T-bone steak, $7.99 a pound. 80% lean fresh ground chuck, $3.59 a pound. Prairie Fresh whole boneless pork loins, $2.39 a pound. Gala or Ginger Gold apples, 3-pound bag, $2.99 each. DiGiorno pizza, 22 to 31 ounce, $5.99 each. Gain laundry detergent or fabric softener, selected varieties, $9.99 each. Mayfield ice cream novelties, 6-pack, 2 for $5 at Foodland Plus in Albertville.
Back to Legends in Albertville in the Crossroad Mall. Barry Galloway, John Glad, and Keith Ball. Coach Bert Browne will be talking to Coach in a few minutes. But first, with changing seats here, Keith. So did you guys play together or coach together?
He was a year younger than me, and we our paths crossed when we were coaching. I don't think did we ever coach on the same team?
No.
I think we were. Yeah, I think maybe you were coaching some older guys, and I was younger, and then we kind of crossed up there. But got Chad Oliver with us, Coach Oliver. Coach, know you were very close with JJ. You know, we've been kind of talking about JJ to start the program out here, and just kind of reminiscing. I know know last year you coached defensive line. Are you coaching defensive line this year again?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm slid out to the ends.
I got you.
And Jim Nelson's kind of taking over the noses. Work together as a solid unit.
I got you. Coach, talk about JJ as you can talk about him as a player and then talk about him as a person, because we've heard a lot of stories and what a great young man he was. But with you being a little bit closer to him, coaching him last year, talk about him a little bit in your experience with JJ.
Well, it really all started off in middle school when I was doing the strength and conditioning, and for some reason he wasn't in there, and I went and recruited him and talked to him. I think he had some knee problems at the time when he was younger, something like a surgery, and talked him into coming in there and lifting, and we got after it, and became a really good player. You know, when he was young, freshman, played some, and then that next year I moved into his to be his position coach, and through that summer he did realize his potential, like it was there, playing 7-8 teams as a freshman.
Right.
But like the switch hadn't really flipped yet of how great he could be. And that summer together, we really formed a bond, relationship, a trust, and man, fell in love with the process of how great he could be. And he was rolling. We had the scoreboard might not have shown it, but if you watch the D-line closely, you can see that those dudes competed. He was an anchor on the line last year, and just through the whole thing, outside of it, we had our funny jokes. We'd crack on me because I was short, and I always go back at him. Now this year, this off season, he got stronger than me, and I always give him a hard time that I was stronger than him, because we'd come in and I'd pull him and Christian in, and we'd do some little private workouts, do some bands and stuff like that, and I could kind of outlift him and still kind of get after him and stuff, and up until this year. But, I mean, outside of this, I mean, he big, giant teddy bear with a great smile, great personality, somebody you'd want to be around. And, man, I that's what everybody loved about him, make you smile.
We were talking Friday night. It seemed like he had one of his better games against Boaz, and he was really seeming to come into his own.
Yes, the Boaz game, it kind of turned into him being a two-way player, and then it kind of being like a rotation thing where you're playing O-line, so then this other guy's going to roll in a little bit, and it kind of took it personally, and really showed out that night like, hey, this is still my spot, even though that guy might have rolled in first. This is my nose tackle spot. So that really pushed him, kind of got behind him a little bit, and played with a lot of fire. He had a great game against Boaz.
As a coach, how does this affect you with the players as a coach and as just a person? I mean, this is something we were talking. It's the first time I've been doing radio many years, and this is the first time it's happened that during the season this has happened. It's happened during the summertime, but never during the season. How does that affect the coaching staff? I mean, you got to be very close with this young man, and then all of a sudden, boom, you walk in the locker room the next day and he's not there. That's got to be tough.
I kind of echo what Coach Brown said. It was the toughest day of my coaching career, or just being a man in general, having to go talk to his mom, and then and I said it online, very selfish, not wanting him to leave, just I know the things we talked about, going and playing at the next level, taking him to recruiting visits and stuff like that. So, that not wanting those things and just not being real, was tough. But then, I talked to Sam Graham. Some of y'all know who Sam is. I leaned hard on him. He was my position coach, and I try to coach like him and try to love the kids the way he loved me. And if I had any type of feeling, I knew and would hope in my heart that JJ felt the same way I feel about Sam. And so I really leaned on him, and it's one of those things where, I'm going to be here for the kids, and I can see, and I told the kids this the morning when I woke up, was I know JJ would give me one of those big bear hugs and say, "Hey, coach, we got to keep going. We got to stay strong. You're the freaking man. Like you're the tough guy. You know, even though your steering wheel or your seat's lifted up over your steering wheel, you still got to be the tough guy."
I saw that joke. He's going back. Y'all go back and forth about being short.
Coach, you know, every time I was around JJ, he was to me, he was silently funny. I mean, he would have those little things and those little quips to say. But one thing that I always loved about him was his aura that was around him, that you kind of knew that he was a quiet leader. He didn't have to say a whole lot. You knew him better than I did as a position coach. And now, remember, I coached him when he was little. So a lot of times in Pee Wee, they don't have a whole lot to say. But as they grow and they develop in a system, they become that leader. Talk to our people that are listening, to folks in here at Legends, that just, I mean, was he a vocal leader? Was he a quiet leader? When did he need to be a vocal leader? Just the kind of leadership skills that you saw in that young man beyond, I mean, on the football field, but beyond that as well.
He was a big lead by example guy, a doer. Like, hey, I'm going to bring the energy. I'm going to set the tone on the line. Everybody else is going to catch my energy. And if not, then he would carry people on. It wasn't like a chewing. It was, let's get this thing rolling top guy. But big time, even in the weight room, was a big, hey, watch me. Let's get this set. I'm going to push through it. You're going to push through it. Type of guy.
Coach Oliver, what have you seen in practice from that last couple of days?
I thought when we came out Tuesday, the guys, we responded well. We bounced around, put the game plan in, and the guys seemed focused. It came a little overcast, a little rain, and some of us felt like, hey, that was him being there. Like, hey, here's a little cool breeze right here.
Yeah, get cool now.
Yeah, focus right here. Now focus in, and hey, we locked in and we got it done Tuesday. Today, I still think we had a good day defensively. It was a little slow at times just because it was a lot faster. We had to pick up the pace of gameplay. But I still feel like the focus was there on the game plan defensively.
Well, Coach Oliver, I'm a fan of when you played, as you coach, and just as a man in period. It's glad to have you out here tonight. Thank you for what you do.
I know I appreciate you guys for what y'all do, and I hope y'all have a blessed rest of this evening and a good dinner.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thanks, sir. We're going to take a quick break and come back. We're talking to some of the Aggie players coming up next. It's the Bert Browne Aggie Coaching Show here at Power 107.5.
Albertville Discount Pharmacy has been providing prescription and healthcare needs to the Sand Mountain area for over 30 years. With 3 pharmacists, Amy Honey, Brett Hogan, and Eddie Campbell, you will feel the confidence their staff provides. They want to be your pharmacy. Phone 256-878-1515 or come by Albertville Discount Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy at 422 North Broad Street in Albertville.
It's football time in Alabama, one of the best times of the whole year. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. It often seems like this world is changing so fast every single day, but it's nice to know that fall Friday nights in Alabama are still the same. To all the football players, cheerleaders, and band members, I hope you have a successful, safe, and winning season. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
Touchdown, fans! Get ready to score big this football season with FTC's high-speed fiber internet. Say goodbye to lag and stay in the game with reliable and unbeatable internet speeds that you need. Level up your game with upload and download speeds up to 1 gig. For more information, visit farmerstel.com or give us a call at 256-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
I'm Randy Jones with Randy Jones & Associates, your independent insurance agency. We've been proudly serving our community now for over 44 years. We know finding the right protection for you, your family, your business, and your future is important. RGAA is here to help you find with affordable, customized coverage that best fits your needs. Stop by Randy Jones & Associates office or give us a call for a free, no-obligation quote.
This week at Foodland Plus in Albertville, Angus beef T-bone steak, $7.99 a pound. 80% lean fresh ground chuck, $3.59 a pound. Prairie Fresh whole boneless pork loins, $2.39 a pound. Gala or Ginger Gold apples, 3-pound bag, $2.99 each. DiGiorno pizza, 22 to 31 ounce, $5.99 each. Gain laundry detergent or fabric softener, selected varieties, $9.99 each. Mayfield ice cream novelties, 6-pack, 2 for $5 at Foodland Plus in Albertville.
And welcome back to Legends in Albertville. Big crowd tonight. The Legends, thank you so much for feeding the Aggie JV players and the varsity players here tonight. T-shirts. They're selling T-shirts across the way, Keith. Now, let's try to look around and find one of the T-shirts. They have, 58 on it.
Yeah.
What does it say again?
I know it says 58, has his number. Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm going to borrow your shirt just for a second. It
says be strong.
Yeah. Look at the Gabe over here. He's going to jump right in. It says, JJ Strong, fly high, gone too soon. And I know they're selling for $15 a piece.
Right.
And all the proceeds are going to go to JJ's mother,
All right.
which is so awesome.
We are talking to Coach Brown again in a few minutes. First, brought 3 players. I'm glad he brought Xavier. He happened to be our player of the game Friday night. Hey, man, you had an awesome game Friday night. Congratulations. Let's talk about the game against Boaz. I know didn't end the way you wanted it to, but, man, rushing yards, you were carrying the ball like a beast the other night.
Yes, sir. I've carried the ball my whole life. I started out when I was playing Pee Wee. I carried the ball all the way up until my 8th grade year. Then they kind of moved me to the wide receiver, and we started doing the wing set. And this is my first year actually getting to run the ball again, and I'm loving it. It's been a long time since I got to run the ball. I mean, I do it pretty good.
Absolutely.
Aggressive. Derrick Henry. I try to be like Derrick Henry. That's what I want to be like.
I was going to say, who's your 7th grade coach that lets you run the ball?
Coach Mitchell and Coach Brown.
What are you talking about? Xavier could. I mean, he's always been a little bit bigger than everybody else, and man, we'd feed him the ball, and he was a beast back then. I want to say he almost had 100 yards.
It did.
Yeah. So it was a great game.
Every position they put you at, Xavier, you've done well at. Which position is your favorite?
I don't know. I like them all the same, but my heart is kind of at running back because I played it my whole life. But they moved me to defense my sophomore year high school, and ever since then I've been a defensive guy. I've been loving to get to the ball and just make plays for my team.
I know it's been a tough week for you guys. Tried to prepare. So how was practice today?
I say it was pretty good. Our focus level was way better than it was the past yesterday, and I feel like we're getting back on the right track to go compete on Friday.
Anything else, Coach?
Hey, I was going to ask Xavier real quick. I had the opportunity to watch some of the game films. I get the opportunity to be able to break down the opposing team, and one thing that I noticed is that Muscle Shoals and both Benson Valley seemed like they had with their offensive lines got going that the Florence team would give up some yards on the ground.
Yes,
right now you got 89 yards. Jordan Laredo, you got 47 officially right now. But there's a lot of hard sledding. I'm just thinking, do y'all I guess the thought, my process is you're going to have a younger offensive line in front of you. Give us the ball. We might be able to crank out some things on the ground, get this game into the fourth quarter with a chance to win. What do you think about, the offensive line and you being able to kind of ground and pound this thing?
Yes, sir. I mean, they do a good job in practice. They do a good job in the games. I mean, once they open up that hole, the big thing for us is once we see the hole, we're going to have to get vertical and go and just get what we can get and then keep pounding it down their throats all night.
Yep. And just get that game to the fourth quarter, right?
Yes, sir.
Love that.
Xavier, I like the shirt there. Any chance you might be going there one day?
I hope so. I'm waiting. I'm trying to work.
Yeah, he's wearing Mississippi State shirt here. I like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, Xavier, it's awesome to have you sitting beside me and have you your senior year, and I love watching you play ball, and you're one of those guys I miss coaching. Almost makes me want to come back and jump back in it, but I'm real busy with all the other stuff I got going on. But we're gonna switch over to Laredo.
Well, Xavier, I know you've had a hard week. We're thinking about you, praying for you, and hope everything goes okay this week. I know it's gonna be tough, but we're thinking about you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Next up, I believe we got Jordan Laredo. Let's get Jordan the headset on here. Jordan, Coach was scared a few minutes ago. They came to refill your drink, and I think the lady brought the correct picture, but the writing on the outside kind of fooled him a little bit. Coach jumped out of his chair over here. So, Jordan, how you doing? Hey, you had a good game the other night.
sir. I'm doing good.
Move your mic up just a little bit there. There you go. There you go. Look, Xavier's show he had. Xavier's like a professional now.
I think Xavier stretched the headset out a little bit. got that big head.
So tell us about the game the other night. You're carrying the ball a little bit more on Friday night against Boaz.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of playing, just trying to like stay locked in and tote the ball a little bit. But I'm mainly on defense and stuff.
So which do you like better, offense or defense?
I think I like defense a little bit better because I can really just read the field instead of like being so like having to hurry up on offense.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He plays the running back spot like a defensive player. Jordan's not afraid of contact. Jordan goes out there and gives 110%. You can tell that. He's got a little bit of size to him, got a little bulk to him, and really enjoy watching you play ball because you're kind of that throwback player where you could really play it in a lot of different spots because you're so physical. Talk about your love for football and maybe love for that contact and going out there and playing with your boys.
Well, my love for football really started whenever I was, I'd say about 5. And I like begged my mom to sign me up for football and stuff like that. And then I was always just really scared to hit ever since like 8th grade. And then I kind of stopped being like scared of contact. And I was like, well, now it's for my time to bring it. So I just started.
You definitely do that.
Jordan, one thing that I love about you is I call you a thumper. That's what I call you. And a thumper back, coach, you know what I'm talking about. It's them guys that's kind of low to the ground that you really don't want no part of because they're coming and you better get low and you better get ready to take some contact. So I truly respect your game. It not only at linebacker, but also I guess you could say thumper linebacker too because you're not afraid to get in there and mix it up. And in this week, just like we talked to Xavier a while ago, I mean, I really believe that the offensive line can make some things happen. You in the backfield with that thumper action. What do you think about maybe you and Xavier, being able to kind of go and then also Evan Jordan, y'all having kind of a 3-headed monster back there in the backfield and in each one of you with a different and unique skill set. I think Xavier, you're kind of more of the slasher and the speed guy. And, Jordan, you're the one like, oh my God, here comes that cat. I got to tackle him kind of a deal with a thumper back. But what do y'all, I mean, when y'all are together at practice and y'all are all kind of standing back there and you're all together kind of in what at that moment in time would be the running back core, what do y'all think about the 3-headed monster that you got? And then not only mention Dez, but putting you in there as well.
What I think we think about is, like you said, like all three of us are like used for different things. I think we have plays that are designed for different people. I feel like that's how we use all three of us.
So Coach Karcher, offensive coordinator, you said you got 3 different guys with 3 different deals, basically 3 areas where you fit in. You like Coach Karcher and the way he's putting you in those things?
Yes, sir. I do like that.
Not too bad when you got a guy who played pro ball and coached at the collegiate level.
No, that's true.
Hey, Jordan, good ball game Friday night. Looking forward to it again this Friday night. Good luck.
Thank you.
And one more young man to your right here. We'll change headphones one more time. Who do we have here, Keith?
This is Jude Fan. Jude is a freshman, and he coaches Special Teams Player of the Week this week. And we play a pretty good bit of freshmen on Friday nights, where that's something we're having to do this year. A lot of them have stood out. Jude, talk about getting to come out and kind of being Coach's Special Teams Player of the Week, and just kind of what it feels like to get to play varsity football.
I mean, that's something I've always wanted to do since I was in middle school. Just play. I mean, our stadium is big. I like playing under the lights.
So your boys are going to mess with you over here because you're on the radio.
His first interview here as a high school football player.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that his boys are staring him down right there. So you can relax, buddy. You're just talking to us. So there's something about being out there on Friday nights and having a good time and playing with your buddies. But I know there's probably a little more pressure being a young guy out there playing with those older guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Big John.
Dude, what do you? Really quick question though, because I remember everybody who's ever gone from middle school, you go to high school. You go to high school, you go to college. That game moves a little bit quicker when you got them big boys that are 17 and 18 years old, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So really, when you're back there, you're doing your thing on special teams. Ninth grader, right? You're ninth grader.
Yes, sir.
So I think everybody who's listening to the broadcast, we talk about how young we are as a team, and then that just says a lot to you and how you've been able to catch the coach's eye as a freshman to make it on special teams in some of those areas. What's going through your mind as a ninth grader when it's punt time or kickoff time or whatever? Besides, don't let my heart explode and beat through my chest, right?
Yeah. I'm just what I think. Don't let them get by me.
Yeah.
Make a play.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's it.
I actually worked with Jude's mom at the kindergarten. She was over there. She's a teacher my last 2 years, being at the when I was a PE teacher at the kindergarten pre-K, AKPK. And he comes from a great family, and it's awesome to see him out there because I've kind of watched him grow up a little bit and remember seeing him as a little guy. So it's awesome to see you out there. Jude, just keep working, man. And, special teams will get you noticed. Working your tail off, competing and getting after it on special teams will catch coach's attention, and he's more likely to kind of get you into other spots. So just keep working, okay?
Yes, sir.
Before we move on, let's swap headphones so Coach can talk about our three young men here. Give them a chance to speak about grab those. Let Keith have your headphones again. Jude, hey, thanks for joining us. Before these three move on to begin eating, what about these three you brought with you tonight, Coach?
Well, they did an excellent job Friday night, and you know how young we are when you got a freshman that's our special teams player of the week. So, but these guys played really well, and talked about we're going to keep getting after it and doing those kind of things, and they did a great job today.
We're going to take one more quick break and come back with some thoughts about the game coming up on Friday night. Come out and join us. We're at Legends here in Albertville. Going to be here till 7 o'clock. It's the Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.
It's football time in Alabama, one of the best times of the whole year. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. It often seems like this world is changing so fast every single day, but it's nice to know that fall Friday nights in Alabama are still the same. To all the football players, cheerleaders, and band members, I hope you have a successful, safe, and winning season. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
Touchdown, fans! Get ready to score big this football season with FTC's high-speed fiber internet. Say goodbye to lag and stay in the game with reliable and unbeatable internet speeds that you need. Level up your game with upload and download speeds up to 1 gig. For more information, visit farmerstell.com or give us a call at 256-638-2144. FTC, we keep you connected.
Albertville Discount Pharmacy has been providing prescription and healthcare needs to the Sand Mountain area for over 30 years. With 3 pharmacists, Amy Honey, Brett Hogan, and Eddie Campbell, you will feel the confidence their staff provides. They want to be your pharmacy. Phone 256-878-1515 or come by Albertville Discount Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy at 422 North Broad Street in Albertville.
Legends in Albertville and Guntersville is your place for family fun. Come have dinner with us in Albertville for Tuesday night bingo, 85-cent wings on Wednesday, karaoke Thursday, and live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Guntersville Legends has bingo on Wednesdays, live music on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and karaoke on Friday. Something for everyone at Legends with 2 locations, Highway 431 in Albertville and Legends on the Lake at Valmonte in Guntersville.
Welcome back to Legends here in Albertville, the Coach Bert Browne Show. Getting ready for Florence coming to Albertville. Let's talk about this week's game, Coach. You've had a chance to see Florence. What can we expect?
A very, 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 very athletic football team. Definitely be the most athletic team we faced. And they got some dudes. They got a great defense. They gave up 9 points to Muscle Shoals. Muscle Shoals is pretty good, so they got a heck of a defense.
stopped Muscle Shoalsbury 3 times inside the 10-yard line on 4 downs.
Yeah.
I mean, Muscle Shoals couldn't punch it in. I think in the third time, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, they had tried it 2 times before and got shut down.
Yeah.
And on the third time, they decided to kick a field goal just to make it.
Yeah.
It was a 6-0 when they kicked it that time. So
yeah.
Talk about your quarterback, 8th grader, C.J. Zuniga, played last night. I thought he looked awesome.
He did, and we played with a bruised hand, man. His hand was jacked up. He hit a helmet. That happened to me a bunch.
It's his throwing hand too, Coach, right?
Yeah, when you throw that ball and you got people in your face, you fall through. I hit my hands so many times on helmets and stuff. I dislocated my thumb one time, and so yeah, he did a great job. Just an 8th grader, man. He's got a huge upside, huge.
Last week, Coach, he went 12 of 126 yards and a touchdown. So not too bad, shabby for an 8th grader at all. There's a lot of pro quarterbacks that would like to have that at the end of the day. But I want to go to another person that we had out there, and that's Hunter Smith. Obviously, your go-to wide receiver in your receiver core. Kind of gets dinged up there at the end of the game. Seems like right now that he may be a game-time decision, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Can you allude to that a little bit? And then I got another part of that question.
Yeah, he got hit a defenseless player at the point of attack. Should have been called. 2 guys were looking at it. He's not, and that's one of the emphasis that they really, talk about is the defenseless player. But yeah, that should have been a 15-yard. They should have had the ball at the 5 instead, I guess, the 35 for the time interception. But we'll see. He's a day-to-day guy. We'll see if he'll be able to play. And, he's obviously a huge part of that offense. He's a great playmaker, got great ball skills. So, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, as of right now, statistics of 10 receptions for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. If for some reason he can't go, and obviously this week you've had to put that contingency in plan because he is a game-time decision, who do you look at in that wide receiver core that you can say, okay, you're going to kind of step up and be our main man this week?
Cooper will have to do that.
Cooper Scott.
Yeah, he'll have to do that and play a lot of football. He's going to have to play a lot of football if that's the case. I don't know, even if Hunter can play, how much defense he'll play. He's a heck of a safety for us and makes a lot of tackles in the alley. And so, we'll see. It's kind of one of those deals.
And speaking of that I want to go back because you alluded to it a few moments ago with that injury on that, trying to get rid of that blindside block stuff. I think there were a couple, 2 or 3 of them at certain points during the game. You and the White Hat, I think, exchanged about 23-yard line. Y'all exchanged addresses for Christmas cards. Talk to me about about exchanging addresses.
Judd can't play this week because it's another defenseless player. Not, you can't just whack a guy. Now back in the day you could when I play. That's why I forget stuff. But you can't do that now. That's about the most illegal thing that you can do. Hit a defenseless player, and it's at the point of attack. And then it should have been an unsportsmanlike. You can't WWF somebody after you whack them like that. So, and I know that they saw it because they came running and told the guy he couldn't do that. That's a penalty. You act like that. That isn't hey, buddy, don't do that again deal. That's a 15-yard penalty. That makes a difference, man. You gain 15, that happens. It should have been that's a net 30-yarder right there, and those kind of things bother me. The punt, the 25-second clock is rolling. Okay. So Dez thinks that he stamped me the ball. We're getting ready to punt it. He's calling for the ball. So Judd, he's calling for the ball. The whistle blows. So Judd snaps the ball. So Dez thinks it's a dead ball because he sees 0 on the 25-second clock.
And the whistle.
They scoop it up and score a touchdown. And I'm saying, what in the world was that? Blah, blah, blah. We blew the whistle for play. And I go, the 25-second clock was running.
He's already in play.
Yes. And so, that's, guys, this is my livelihood. Okay. It's not my hobby. I used to call baseball when I was a high school football coach in Tennessee. I loved it. I was an umpire. I loved it. And that was my hobby. Okay. But I understood that those guys standing there at third base, that's their livelihood. That's what they do. And, touchdowns, man, those are hard to come back from, especially when you're down and you need good things to happen. And, you know, there's some other things, you know, just you can't throw the ball 45 yards down the field. Our safeties down there and run a ball in from the sideline, run your receivers off, and the referees spot the ball like Chip Kelly wants them to. Everybody knows who Chip Kelly is, I hope. He was the head coach at Oregon. They snap the ball every 3 seconds. So, you know, so my safeties are still running back, and then the penalty on their sideline on our pick 6 that they had, I thought it was a pass interference. So we're standing over there where they're 10 yards from their coaches talking about the penalty. This is what really aggravated me. You know, I'm a head football coach. I think I deserve to have some communication, you know, because this is my livelihood. Okay.
Right.
I'm at my office at 5 a.m. coaching football. And so, there was an illegal man downfield. We had a lineman downfield. Well, so they signal lineman downfield where they already know what it is. So they're running their offense on the field for the 2-point conversion. Well, our kids are 30-yard, you know.
Don't even know what the penalty is.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they spot the ball and let them snap it. My defense is running out there. I don't care what you say. I've been doing this a long time. I played it a long time. I've coached college football all over the Southeast United States of America. You don't do that. You allow the other team to get the penalty. Okay, we're going to wait and spot the ball when they can run their defense out there. Because, like I said, I thought it was pass interference. But their coaches were able to hear what it was because they were talking over there on their sideline because that's where the penalty was thrown. So, you know, I wasn't happy with that. And you know, we're a football team, man, that we need good things to happen for us. And when you do something like that, you know, there was a few things in there that, you know, the punt thing really bothers me because the 25-second clock's rolling. Is an official, all those officials, 7 of them that we're paying, should have seen the 25-second clock running and, you know,
reset it.
Yeah. And blown a whistle, killed what's going on, reset it, and then let's go. But my guys think that they have to snap the ball now. So that's why Dez let it lay there when he heard the whistle because he thought it's dead.
Ball.
And like I told Dez, I said, never, ever let the ball lay there. I don't care if they blow 17 whistles. Pick that bad boy up.
Yeah. And Coach, that goes just back to youth. I mean, in experience. And one thing I think that you would agree with as well is you just alluded to it. And what you said was when you have a young team, you got to have some good things kind of go your way. And I think that, in my opinion, because I've been there before too on that sideline, and I've coached on that sideline. Never been the head guy, but I've had the opportunity to be around the head guy when he's talking to the referees, and you know, and once again, hey, look, officials I know are trying to do the absolute best they can, and it's hard to recruit guys to go into officiating because of what they have to deal with. I get it, but. You know, I'm with you on the ones that we love to work with the best were the ones that 2 things. A, communicated well.
Number 1 is communication.
And then number 2, because I was at Brewer, and anybody who's listening to the sound of my voice understands that Brewer's not a great program. But some of the ones that would kind of give us a little bit of love to get some of them young players on the field, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, not circumvent the rules, but like, all right, let's give them a chance because we were very much like Albertville is now. And you're trying to put those kids out there and put them in different positions and, you know, kind of help us out a little bit.
I'm not a big yeller. I never have been. I don't do a lot of yelling at officials because I don't think that helps. One of my good friends in Georgia, Shane Queen, the head coach at North Cobb, we played college ball together. He's got one of the top 3 programs in the state of Georgia, and he yells all the time. I tell him all the time, I go, you know, what are you doing, man? I want them to do their job. I said, yeah, but you just can't yell all the time, Shane. But my biggest thing is just communicate with me.
Right.
I mean, I think I've earned that right. I've been doing this 32 plus years. I think they can come over there and explain to me what's going on. And you know, that's just something that you do. I don't like watching the Super Bowl with people. I like to listen to Troy Aikman talk about things and the nuances of the game. And I've done that since I was in the 7th grade. I like to listen and learn. And I've watched a lot of football. You know, my dad was a football coach, and I've watched a ton of football, and you have to communicate with the head football coach. He deserves that. And I'm going to fight some kids now. I was highly perturbed, and I let them know I was highly perturbed. And, for the most part, I think they did a good job, but there was a few things there. Now, the two defensive player things, that is, you can't miss that thing. Those are cause you can't miss. My guy's not looking and gets whacked on the side of the head, so, but I'm not taking anything away from Boaz because they got a good football team and they played their butts off, and Coach Sullivan had them ready to play. And I just hope that we can get our program to where we got some big old linemen like they got some of those things. And, we've got to, our kids, and we got to bring, I was talking to the 8th graders today. Don't get discouraged, man. The starting quarterback for the varsity is an 8th grader. Imagine if he was playing 8th grade football right now, what he would shred up some defenses down there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it'd be a different deal. So I told those guys, I said, guys, just get better every day. Get yourself better and get ready to play. And that's what we want to do for middle school. Have fun, and that kind of deal.
Coach, real quick, talking about the offensive line and the loss of JJ for this week. I know you're fairly thin there anyways. And I've been very impressed with, Jonathan Alexander, who's another freshman. And I think he's played pretty darn good on that offensive line. Yeah. But do you have a guy that's going to kind of take over kind of where JJ was playing a pretty good bit?
Well, that might be by committee.
Okay.
We got some youth there, and that Jonathan Alexander is Chase Bynum.
Is it really?
Yep. They got the wrong number. As a matter of fact, I told my coaches today, I said, guys, we can't have the wrong numbers.
So 79.
79 is Chase Bynum.
Well, excuse me, because
he's ugly guys behind you right there.
I got you. So, but he's played a heck of a
he's done
2 football games.
He's done well. He has, and but yeah, and I told him, I said, we got to get that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll make a note of it on my roster anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you all another one tomorrow because that's one of the things I'm doing in the morning. But we're very thin up front, very thin up front, and man, they got a heck of a defense,
right?
And they get after you. So, one of the things we'll have to do is we're gonna have to offset that with some different things that we do, getting the ball out fast and trying to, we're not going to be able to run side to side. They got more speed than we do, and they get to the football, and that's what we've told our kids all week. There is no side to side; it's straight up the field, and especially with the loss of my man JJ, and just man, oh man, I mean, that kid was such a joy to coach and such a good kid, and me and him had a real good relationship, and like I said, used to give each other a hard time. And I'm gonna miss that kid so much, and I know I'll think about him a bunch, and but he is sorely missed in more ways than one.
Yes, sir.
Coach, I know it's been a tough week. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. Like we talked before, it's more about just wins and losses. When this season is over, said and done, what do you hope these young men take away from this week?
The most important thing, and I've never had a team. I've never had one of my teams quit. And I've taken over some programs that were pretty bad. And I've had a 1-win season my first year, and we came back and won region champ, undefeated in the region, won the region. And like I told the kids, it's about life. You're learning to get up and go to work every day like you're going to have to do as an adult. And no matter what the scoreboard says, you keep fighting your rear ends off. And our kids did. Me and Coach Harper were in the field house about 6:30 Saturday morning, and we were watching. And I'd been watching film a little bit before he got there, and I said, "Man, these guys, fought their butts off at the end of the ball game, knowing, we're not coming back from this deficit, but we're going to play hard."
Coach, we appreciate you. Johnny, any final comments?
Coach, that's all you can ask is if there's 5 seconds on the clock, and like you said, that the game is not winnable, right? Yeah. But yet you see that same intensity and that same effort with 5 seconds to go in a game just like you saw it in the first 5 seconds of the game, then, those are young men you can go to battle with because those are the ones, like you said, that alarm goes off, they're going to get out of bed, put their clothes on, they're going to go to work.
And we got so many young ones. I mean, that's just it. And I've told them, you just got to go to work every day.
That's right. Coach, real quick, guys, there is a GoFundMe for JJ and his family benefit. Please look that up. Jason Simpson, I think, set that up, and you can look that up. Also, they're going to continue to sell the shirts to benefit. So any way that you can reach out to the family and help benefit them and love on them and pray for them, but also try to help them financially, that would be awesome for the community to come together and do that.
Yes, well, and the community has done a lot, man. It shows you what a great place Marshall County is, and Albertville. It's just, Boaz's Booster Club donated some money to us. Wow. I mean, that says a lot about them. And like I say, Coach Sullivan was one of the first guys over there, man. I'm sure he left their practice to come over and talk to me, and that says a lot about him.
Yes, Coach, we appreciate you. Been thinking about you, praying for you, and looking forward to great things you're going to do here. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll get them Friday night, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Join us again coming up next Wednesday here at Legends in Albertville from 6 to 7, the Coach Bert Browne Show here on Power 107.5.
Legends in Albertville and Guntersville is your place for family fun. Come have dinner with us in Albertville for Tuesday night bingo, 85-cent wings on Wednesday, karaoke Thursday, and live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Guntersville Legends has bingo on Wednesdays, live music on Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, and karaoke on Friday. Something for everyone at Legends with 2 locations, Highway 431 in Albertville and Legends on the Lake at Valmonte in Guntersville.
Hi, I'm Randy Jones with Randy Jones and Associates, your independent insurance agency. We've been proudly serving our community now for over 44 years. We know finding the right protection for you, your family, your business, and your future is important. RGAA is here to help you find with affordable, customized coverage that best fits your needs. Stop by Randy Jones and Associates office or give us a call for a free, no-obligation quote.
It's football time in Alabama, one of the best times of the whole year. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. It often seems like this world is changing so fast every single day, but it's nice to know that fall Friday nights in Alabama are still the same. To all the football players, cheerleaders, and band members, I hope you have a successful, safe, and winning season. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
This week at Foodland Plus in Albertville, Angus beef T-bone steak, $7.99 a pound. 80% lean fresh ground chuck, $3.59 a pound. Prairie Fresh whole boneless pork loins, $2.39 a pound. Gala or Ginger Gold apples, 3-pound bag, $2.99 each. DiGiorno pizza, 22 to 31 ounce, $5.99 each. Gain laundry detergent or fabric softener, selected varieties, $9.99 each. Mayfield ice cream novelties, 6-pack, 2 for $5 at Foodland Plus in Albertville.
5 Albertville. You found the power. Power 107.5 FM.
Lately I've been reeling, watching the nightly news. Don't seem to find the rhythm, just wanna sing the blues. Feels like a song that never stops. Feels like it's never gonna. Gotta get that fire back in my bones.